Okay, welcome to Screencast number 8 of section 6.6, and this is the male reproductive system. Oh yes, oh yes, oh yes. All right, so this is basically wrapped around a skill, boys and girls, of you being able to annotate, that is not draw, annotate diagrams of the male reproductive system showing the names of their structures and their functions. So this is a structure and function PowerPoint. As you can see, there is Mr. Sperm Cell, uh, almost on his merry way. So I'm going to bring up the smartboard. All right, first of all, this diagram will be attached without the labeling. You're going to need to label, and there he is in all of his side glory anyway. All right, so we're going to label. We're going to go from the outside in the male reproductive system. All right, so this is a requirement, just structure, function, and hormones. All right, so things that we already know. Let's see. Okay, so the sac containing the testes is called the scrotum. Don't forget that the testes need to be kept at about 2 or 3 degrees below body temperature, hence the distended sac. Okay, so sac is holding the testes as you see there, but it's not only holding the testes. I'm going to move some of this stuff around. Sorry. Okay, attached is a storage vesicle bag called the epididymis. You can see right here, and attached to the epididymis and coming off of that is the first of 2 tubes. Sorry. First of 2 tubes, this one called the vas deferens. The vas deferens, okay, is a tube, and it goes up, into, around, and ends about right there. Okay, so there are 2 tubes. So sperm cells are created in the testes. I'll clarify that on the next panel. Okay, they mature and are stored in the epididymis, and they move out through the vas deferens, up and around. Okay, and when they get to this point, they start combining with other fluid that's going to give you the semen in the end. All right, and the fluid comes from 3 glands. First and foremost, you have the food gland called the seminal vesicle. Second, you have what I call, anyway, the protection gland, which is going to give you a protective fluid for the urethra in the penis and the acidic environment of the vaginal area. And then lastly, the lubricant is the Cowper's gland. So seminal vesicle, prostate, Cowper's gland. Okay, so we move over to this section here for the last few parts. Okay, continuous with the vas deferens, but starting right about right here is the male urethra. So the urethra combines both the bladder and then the vas deferens into one single tube in the end, the urethra. The blue on here is your erectile tissue, which has many, many pores and openings to fill with blood during an erection. And then lastly, we have the glans penis at the top. So the entire structure there. All right, so we need to know all of those. Let's go back and take a quick look at the notes that you have for this. And again, this is a 27-slide PowerPoint. Literally 1, 2, 3 slides are on the male reproductive system. Sorry. So if we go through and we see this part, you have the parts to the system, what I like to call here, at least initially, part of the scrotal sac or in the scrotum, which is there for storage. All right, you've got the testes. The testes are produced sperm in tightly coiled tubules called the seminiferous tubules. And in the seminiferous tubules, meiosis occurs from way back when. Also, another set of cells in there produce testosterone, and those are called interstitial cells. Okay, the IC cells in between the seminiferous tubules, okay, produce testosterone. The epididymis stores sperm, and you can see that again. We'll get the picture up again in a second, but you can follow along with the picture next to it. The food and the tubes, there are 2 tubes, number 1 being the vas deferens, and number 2 being the urethra, a part of the penis. And again, it's exit point for both sperm and urine, not at the same time. Carry sperm from the epididymis to the vas deferens. Remember, vasectomy, snip, cut off, no sperm cells. And the food and travel, again, completely my headline there. All right, so the seminal vesicle again. secretes a high fructose sugar to nourish the sperm, a little bit of mucus too, and a little bit of a hormone, which we're not tested, which is going to stimulate the contraction of the uterus to actually help the sperm cells move up. But for us, a high fructose corn syrup for about the 48 hours that the sperm cells are viable. Little mucus to protect and a hormone to help to contract the uterus for movement. The prostate gland secretes an alkaline solution, and that neutralizes any acid that might be in the urethra, and especially the vaginal acids, because without the prostate gland fluid, sperm cells will not be viable, no be able to survive inside the hostile female environment. And then lastly, the Cowper's gland. The Cowper's gland produces a fluid to lubricate the urethra for easy passage. It also first flushes out any particles of urine that may be in it so they don't damage the sperm cells. So those tubes and the food and travel, important things for us, for you to know. All right, so you see it there again. Picture one more there. Oops, let's get that back up. Epididymis, two vas deferens, seminal vesicle, prostate gland, Cowper's gland, urethra, and out for that. Just to give you a guiding point here, this is the urinary bladder, and that would be the rectal portion and the anus there. So you can see for connections. As far as the male sex hormone is concerned, just a little bit of bringing it back for the male hormone. Male hormones here, again, three things: secondary characteristics, primary characteristics, and determination of the male genitalia. So again, testosterone is responsible at puberty for the secondary characteristics: deep voice, muscle development, height being different, hair in separate locations, facial hair. But the primary focus of our reproductive system is to produce sex cells, and so they do that at puberty as well. All right, so this is a quick overview of the male reproductive system.